guitarists, my name is Josh Rogers. Welcome to NBN Guitar. In this tutorial, or tutorials, I'm going to be teaching you how to play Granada by the amazing Spanish composer Isaac Albéniz. If you don't know, this is from the Suite Española Op 47, and originally that suite had 4 pieces in it, and more recent publications they added another 4 pieces. One of the most famous pieces that most of you probably know or should know is Asturias, and I think that's like one of the most popular pieces of all time for the classical guitar. I also have some tutorials on that you can check out, but for this tutorial we're going to be hitting Granada. Make no mistake, this is an extremely difficult piece, and it was one of the earliest pieces requested for me to actually post up on YouTube months and months ago. It could be almost a year ago. I've finally gotten around to doing it. The reason it took me so long is because it's incredibly difficult actually, and I was struggling with some of the stretches, but I've been working at it steadily and I managed to get it done. Make sure you like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Don't forget there's also some tabs that you can download, or sheet music with fingerings that you can also download from my website. Let's do this. It starts off with an E major chord at the 7th position. So I'm using my second finger here. You don't have to use the same fingers as me, but I happen to use my second finger. It just suits my style. On the 7th fret of the 1st string, and then these 2 fingers on the 9th and 9th of the B and G strings. You're going to hit those 3 and an open E like this. Then you do 2 more, just the first 2 strings like this. And then you're going to have this happening in, like, it's like a bass line, but it's actually the melody, and it's this. So that's 8, 6, all on the G string, and then back to that 9th fret, but on the D string, like this. And then 6, 8 again. And while you're doing that, you've got to be hitting these 2 notes here from the beginning, like this. Okay, so that's this chord here, which is those 2, they haven't changed, but you're going to be putting this finger here on the 6th fret of the G string. You play the same 4 strings, and you're going to do a hammer pull off from 6 to 8, back to 6. If you've seen the Julian Bream masterclass lesson on this, he talks to the guy that he's teaching about the speed or style of triplet. Now there's this style of triplet, which is the one that Julian Bream suggested not to do, and there's the other one which is an even triplet like this. It doesn't seem like there's much of a difference, but there is. It's a very quick 2nd note, 3rd note, which means the last note actually lasts for a bit longer, but this one is perfectly even. It's your choice. I tend to mix up and do both. It just depends what I'm up to. Okay, so we've got that from the beginning. There, I've replaced this note with this note, like that. So we're doing the 9th fret on the D, 9th fret on the B, and 7th fret on the 1st string together. And then you've got 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. Then you do it again. Notice there, for the last 3, I've switched and I've done this thing here. That's called a hinge bar, and that allows me to prepare in advance for the B7 chord that follows in the next bar, like this. 1, 2, 3. And I'm hinging it. I haven't done the full bar, I'm just hinging. So this part of my finger there is actually just resting like this, and my finger's actually arched out this way, and when I'm ready I actually apply the full bar. I'll take it from here. 1, 2, 3, and then I've got this. Right, so let's just tackle that. So that's a bar at the 7th fret, and I've got the 8th fret on the G string and 9th fret on the A string, and I'm doing the 6th string, 5th, 3rd and 1st. Quite an unusual spread. And we've got this going on in the bass line. Once again, if you watch Julian Bream's lesson, and I'm going to put that lesson into this playlist as well, so you can check me playing it, and you can also listen to Julian Bream. Julian Bream doesn't explain where to put your fingers, he just talks all about the interpretation and how to make the piece sound really beautiful. So we have this, so let's just tackle that. We've done that, and then we have the 11th fret on the A string, and then 7th fret on the D string. 1, 2, 3, like that. When we get to the D string, you should also pick the G and E string again, like that. And then again. So pick them together again, and then to the 9th fret on the D string, and then to the 11th fret on the D string, and pick those 3 strings together again. So after that, you're going to pick that 7th fret on the 1st string, then to the 8th fret on the G, then B and E together at the 7th fret, and then back to the 8th fret on the G. Then we're doing a full bar at the 5th fret, and we've got the 7th fret on the 6th string, 6th fret on the G string, and we play the 6th, 3rd and 1st strings together. We're going to do another hammer pull off from 6 to 8 on the G string. Then reach out, it's 9th fret on the D string and 5th fret on the 1st string together, like this. And then that 5th fret on the 1st string again by itself, just taking it from this bar chord here. Shift back to the 7th fret, and you're going to do that 3 times. That's 9th fret on the D string, 8th fret on the G, 10th fret on the B, 7th fret on the 1st. 3 times. And then do this again. But here, doing the 9th fret on the B string after the 7th fret, and then 7, 7 again. So that's pretty much the same, it's just a little bit different. Then back to this. So that's all the same. Then you start the piece again. Back to that hinge bar. But then, this time we're going to do a... that goes to G major. So let's just look at that. Once again I do that hinge bar, and we're doing a G major chord. It's just like a C shape, but up here at the 7th position. So we've got 10th fret on the A, 9th fret on the D, 7th fret on the G, 8th fret on the B, 7th fret on the 1st string. Strum through 5 strings, then 2 there like that. And then we've got, that's 11, 9, 7, 9, then 9, 11, and then the triplet from 9 to 11, 9, like that. And that's going on with those 2 notes there at the 8th and 7th on the B and E strings. 1, 2, 3, and then back to the B7 chord. So that's the same, but then we've got, that is the same, but it actually happens like a beat earlier before we had, like this, but now it's, then we have, so it goes straight to there, 7 and 7 on the B and E strings, and then 7 by itself on the 1st string, then it's 8th fret on the G, 10th fret on the B, 7th fret on the first string together. I know it's a bit confusing. I never said it would be easy to teach and easy to follow, so I do suggest that if you're struggling with how I'm teaching this, download those tabs, or even better, buy the sheet music with the tabs underneath that has all the fingering, and then there's sort of no guesswork. If you get a bit lost watching the video, you can just check out those tabs and maybe watch the video at the same time and work it out from there. Then we have, which you've already done before, but I'll just explain it again. Open E, 6th fret on the G, 9th fret on the B, 7th fret on the E, and that hammer pull off 6, 8, 6. And into this one, which we've done before. So there's 4, 2 and 1 together, and then just 2 and 1 together from here. Then we go into a bar chord at the 9th fret. This is a familiar looking bar chord. It's your typical major shape derived from the E major shape here. That's at the 9th fret, as I mentioned, and then 11, 11, the A and D, and 10 on the G string. And you're going to pick 6, 3, 2, 1, and then your bass is going to change like that, and you're going to pick the first 3 strings with each bass note. How you pick that's up to you. Pick it all together, or maybe spread the first one and then the second 2 together. And then we have, we're staying with the bar. That is 9th fret on the A, 11th fret on the D, and 10th fret on the B together. Then 13th fret on the D. Then 9 on the G, 10 on the B together. We have that, which is 11 on the D, 10 on the B together, and then back to the 9th fret on the A. So you can see that this chord stays the same, it's just a little shift here. All the action is really actually happening here. So I'm just going to take it from this chord. And then we're going back to this, which we've done a couple of times before. But instead of picking that note again, we're going to pick this B, which is 7th fret on the 6th string by itself. And then we're moving into like a contrasting part of the piece, which is this. This part of the song, or this part of the piece, actually acts as like a middle ground where he's transferring the feel from this relatively happy E major key to the more sad and somber E minor. So these next few bars are like a transition from the E major to E minor.